Hi, my name is Sergey Nosov. Today, I'll be walking you through one of the most important and commonly misunderstood topics on the Security Plus exam: implementing identity and access management, or IAM solutions. This is Objective 4.6 from the SY0-701 exam. We'll break it down clearly and connect it to real-world examples so it sticks. Here is what we'll cover today. We'll start by defining IAM and why it matters. Then we'll go into authentication versus authorization, two concepts that get mixed up all the time. We'll review the different access control models, dive into federated identity and single sign-on, cover cloud IAM considerations, walk through an example scenario, and finish with key takeaways. Let's jump in. IAM, or Identity and Access Management, is the backbone of secure systems. It's about making sure the right people have the right access to the right resources at the right time. It governs how users are identified, authenticated, and granted access. Without IAM, you're basically leaving the doors wide open in your environment. It's not just a tool, it's a strategy, combining policies, technologies, and workflows. This is a classic Security Plus distinction. Authentication is the process of verifying who you are. Think of typing in your password or scanning your fingerprint. Authorization, on the other hand, happens after that. It determines what you are allowed to do. For example, after logging in, can you view sensitive files or change configurations? That depends on your permissions. So again, authentication equals identity. Authorization equals access rights. Let's talk access control models. These define how permissions are granted. DAC, or discretionary access control, gives the data owner control over who accesses their resources. MAC, or mandatory access control, uses a central authority. You'll find this in government or military settings where access labels like top secret come into play. RBAC, role-based access control, assigns permissions to roles like HR or admin, and then assigns users to those roles. ABAC, attribute-based access control, is more dynamic. It considers user attributes, resource tags, or even time of access. Very flexible, but also more complex. Let's zoom out to identity across multiple systems. Federated identity means a user's identity is trusted across different organizations or domains. For example, your company might trust your Google login to access an internal app. Single sign-on, or SSO, is about user convenience. Log in once, access many apps. These systems rely on protocols like SAML, OAuth, and OIDC. They improve security and user experience at the same time. SAML is commonly used in enterprise SSO. Here is how it works. You go to an app, a service provider. That app redirects you to an identity provider, like Okta or Entra. You log in there. Then the identity provider sends back a signed SAML assertion to the app, proving your identity. The app checks the signature, and if it's valid, grants access. The cool part is your credentials never go to the service provider. They stay with the identity provider. OAuth 2.0 and OIDC are more common in modern web and mobile apps. OAuth is about authorization, granting access to third-party apps without sharing passwords. OpenID Connect builds on that and adds authentication. So, if you've ever logged into a new site using your Google or Facebook account, you've probably used both OAuth and OIDC under the hood. These flows involve multiple roles: resource owners, clients, and servers. Definitely worth studying closely. In cloud environments, IAM becomes even more critical. AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud each have their own IAM systems. Instead of just assigning users, you often write policies to define what actions are allowed on what resources. Always apply least privilege. Grant only the minimum access needed. Also, use multi-factor authentication wherever possible. And don't forget, Cloud IAM often integrates with on-prem systems like Active Directory. So, how do we get IAM right? Here are some best practices. Require MFA on all accounts, especially privileged ones. Enforce strong password policies: length, complexity, and rotation. Use RBAC where possible, with clearly defined roles. Periodically audit who has access to what. Automate account provisioning and deprovisioning to avoid ghost users lingering around. Let me give you a real-world example. A company uses Okta as their identity provider. Employees log in once through Okta. Okta connects to Active Directory to pull in user roles. Based on those roles, it assigns access to applications like Salesforce, GitHub, and Slack. These apps don't have to manage user accounts themselves. They trust Okta's assertions. This setup simplifies user management and makes auditing much easier. All right, let's wrap it up. IAM is about securely managing identities and access. Always distinguish authentication from authorization. Understand the different access models. DAC, MAC, RBAC, ABAC. Study the flows of SAML, OAuth, and OIDC. They will be on the exam. In the cloud, use IAM policies and MFA, and stick to least privilege. And lastly, tie it all together with best practices and hands-on familiarity. Thanks for your time.